I'm Casey Quaretili, and today is crab cake day. Luckily, my local market is having a special this week on fresh crab meat. So in this household, that means it's crab cake day. We're going to start off with 8 ounces of fresh crab meat, 4 ounces of whipped Philadelphia cream cheese with chives, 4 ounces of grated Parmesan cheese, 1/2 cup of panko, 1/2 teaspoon each of salt, onion powder, and garlic powder, and 1/4 teaspoon of cracked black pepper. We have 1 nice teaspoon of horseradish sauce. This is probably a little more than a teaspoon because I love horseradish. And we're going to finish that off with 1 teaspoon of fresh lemon rind. Please make sure that you get the yellow and not any of the white because you'll ruin your crab cakes with that. Let's mix these ingredients up and get going. Okay, let's get started on mixing up these crab cakes. Again, we have our crab meat. I chose the claws rather than the lump crab meat because it was half as expensive. And since it's all going together into crab cakes, it's going to turn out just great without having the lump variety. Here is our Philadelphia whipped cream cheese with chives. Remember, if you can't get it with chives in your local market, please do add some fresh chives. We have 4 ounces of grated Parmesan cheese. Here are our panko breadcrumbs. Now, panko is just Japanese breadcrumbs. They're a little bit stronger, a little bit crunchier, and a little bit larger than the regular breadcrumbs that we're used to. I like to think of them as the sumo wrestlers of the breadcrumb world. So let's just pop those in there. Now we've got, again, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 1/2 teaspoon garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon onion powder, and 1/4 teaspoon of fresh cracked black pepper. Horseradish, 1 teaspoon of horseradish goes in, and 1 teaspoon of grated lemon rind. That puts a nice little zing, a little zest into the crab cake. So let's mix these ingredients up together here. Just takes a couple of minutes. We don't want to mix them too hard. We want to keep the crab as lumpy as possible and get this all nice and distributed throughout. All right, let's get started on doing our egg whites. We need to beat them until they're stiff. So we've got 1/3 cup of egg whites. Make sure that your egg whites are at room temperature. They will beat up much better as they are. Once they get fluffy, we're going to add 3/8 of a teaspoon of cream of tartar, and that helps your egg whites fluff up and be a little bit stronger. If you don't have cream of tartar, you can always add lemon juice or a little bit of vinegar. It's just something acidic that is very helpful. Now this is 1/4 of a teaspoon, so what I'm going to do is add the 1/4, and then I'll add just a half of that. Because basically what you want to do is use 1/8 of a teaspoon of cream of tartar for every egg white. Now these are the egg whites that come in the container, so it's just egg whites. I measure them out, and we have 1/3 of a cup here, which is about 3 egg whites. So, sorry for the noise, but let's get going. Now you don't want to overdo your egg whites. Once you get them stiff, if you overdo them, they will actually turn to water again. There we go, they're nice and stiff. And we'll be ready to mix these into our crab cakes. Okay, let's mix our egg whites in with our crab cake mixture. We're going to do this 1/3 at a time, and we just want to fold this in. We do not want to lose the air that's in our egg. Absolutely fantastic. Now this is just about ready to go. We're just going to fold it in nice and gently. Again, we don't want to break down the air in the fluff of our egg whites that we just spent so much time and effort getting going. Okay, it's ready to go. Now we are going to actually mold our crab cakes. So hold on 1 second and we'll get that started. Okay, we are going to coat our crab cakes with panko and grated Parmesan cheese. So we have a half a cup of panko and 2 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese that we're just mixing together onto a plate. Then we're going to take our crab cake mixture and we're going to form nice little crab cakes. This is one where you get your hands a little bit dirty. You're going to mix these in. You don't want to squeeze too hard. You want a nice little crab cake about the size of the palm of your hand. I want them about a ½ inch thick. That way it doesn't take too long for them to cook. There's the first one. We're going to put it in to our panko, and then we're going to gently turn it over. Make sure that it's nice and coated. Okay, then we're going to put that, let's just give that a little bit of a tap. Then we'll put it on a plate so that it's ready to go for the next one. I'll tell you how much I love Crab Cake Day in Nokomis, Florida. These smell so good. The lemon and the chives. Ooh, yum, yum, yum. And the horseradish. Let's get these things with their little coating on them. They need to be dressed before we put them into our hot pan with 2 tablespoons of olive oil. They're going to cook for about 5 to 6 minutes per side. I can't wait. Crab Cake Day is one of my favorite days in Nokomis, Florida, and I think it's going to be one of your favorite days wherever you live. And remember, these are all very easy to make. You can make your crab cakes ahead of time and then just saute them when your guests or your family get home. I've never made them well ahead of time, but I have made them a couple hours ahead of time and just had it ready to go in the refrigerator. Just a couple of more and we'll be ready to pop these into a hot pan. My family's right over there. They're standing in line. They love these cooking demonstration days because we're always making the family favorites to share with all of you, and this just smells so good. I'm getting so hungry. I can't wait. I sure do wish that you all could be here. Okay, our pan is nice and warm, so let's put in 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I like to saute when it's not too hot in olive oil. I think it gives a wonderful flavor. Let's put the crab cakes in here and we'll saute them per side approximately 5 minutes. Oh, look, perfect color. All right, one can tell when their crab cakes are done by the fragrance. They're so strong in scent, but it's absolutely fantastic. It smells so good. You know right away, it just kind of beckons you with this wonderful aroma. We're done, we're ready for you. So here we go. These are absolutely gorgeous. Casey's crab cakes. I cannot wait to try them. We have room for one more on the plate. Let's scoot these over just a little bit. I always like to put some lemon on the plate. And what else can we add to put just a little bit of color? Let's just put a couple of sprigs of basil in there to fill it in a little bit, and then we can take it to the table and everybody can have their crab cakes. But first, I'm going to snitch one and share it with all. All right, I can't wait to taste these wonderful crab cakes. I don't think my family will notice if I take just a small bite of one. Absolutely spectacular. You have the wonderful flavor of the fresh crab, the lemon rind, the chives, the Philadelphia cream cheese gives it such a light creaminess. Oh. And the horseradish gives it that extra punch that is absolutely fantastic. I do hope you enjoy this recipe. I'm Casey Lee from Nokomis, Florida, bidding you enjoy your crab cakes. Bye now.